Hey everyone, welcome back to An Extrovert Paints. And a happy new year to everybody. It is after midnight here on the east coast of the United States. It is been a long day today. I'm pretty sleepy, so I apologize if I'm a little incoherent. I will do my best to be coherent. For those of you out there partying or finished partying, I hope you have and had a safe and exciting evening. Hopefully not too exciting. Just remember, party responsibly. $15 for an Uber versus potentially taking a life with the DUI. Make the right call, and party safely is the name of the game. So anyway, that's my extrovert advice for the day. So going forward into 2020 now. 2019 was a very kind of banner year for this channel. When I say that, I mean, this channel has gone through a major revitalization. I've changed the branding. I've gone in and updated the content. I've changed the way that I've changed the look of my desk. I've also kind of, it doesn't look like it now because I've been painting just this week, so I have paint all over the place. But I have cleaned up a lot of my desk, kind of new me, new channel, fresh look. That was last year. Going into this year, I do have more plans for the channel. So I haven't uploaded anything in the last couple of months because there was a lot of concern about the new regulations with the FTC and YouTube. Some of you might have heard about this. There was a concern about content creators being fined tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over content that might be deemed by an independent party as quote unquote for children, even though this content is clearly not directed towards kids. It's more for a mature audience, anyone over the age of 18. However, there was a large concern that channels would be targeted and fined just like YouTube was, and that seems to be based upon recent information from people that have spoken to the FTC board and things. It seems like that was largely unfounded, thankfully. But there is still that concern. We'll just play it out, see how the year goes. We'll see if any smaller channels get targeted. If any do, then we know that we have to take a step back and maybe think about what the future of the channel really should be. But as of right now, I'm proceeding as usual. Some of my responsibilities are going to be lighter going into the year. I'll be graduating in 2020, so a lot of the school responsibilities that I've had will be kind of going away, so I can dedicate more time to editing and actually recording content for my channel. So going into what we're actually going to be doing this year, well, my focus has always been historicals, so that will still play a large part in the channel content. However, I'm also going to be getting into cyberpunk, and that's what this guy over here represents. Now, that you might recognize the skimmer from Blade Runner. For those of you who have seen the movies, you know that this is a police skimmer from the original movie. And variants of this appear in the most recent adaptation, the sequel to that movie. I like the retro look of this more, so Hallmark offers these for like $10 on their website now. They're part of their Hallmark ornament collection for the year. It's perfect 28mm scale. Like, it just fits in perfectly. So I put I drilled a hole and I put an X-Wing base underneath. I got this idea from a community member on Facebook, and I loved it so much I did it. So I have 3 of these, and I'm going to be using them for Cyberpunk miniature games going forward. This channel will be including more content on Cyberpunk because it's something that I've always loved. Ghost in the Shell, Blade Runner, Akira. So I want to bring more of that into tutorials and videos on this channel, so you can expect a shift to that also. Now, obviously, I'm still going to be focusing primarily on what I'm doing right now, which is the classical period, Greece and the Persians and the Romans. That's what I'm focusing on primarily. It's my bread and butter. But I'm also getting back into samurai again. Like, if you know, some of my earlier work has been Test of Honor. Well, Test of Honor went through a bit of a change up. Version 2 came out. It's no longer being distributed by Warlord Games. It's now being distributed by the original creators of the game. His name is Graham Davies, and he's Great for Now Games, kind enough to send along their Ashigaru Scout box. And these are 4 of the miniatures from that set. They're really nice miniatures, and I will be doing a proper video on those very soon. In front here, these are brand new miniatures from Footsore. They are for the game Mortal Gods. If you're not familiar, you should get familiar with the game. It is by far, hands down, the best 28mm Ancients skirmish game in existence, and it's only going to get better with the release of Mythic coming up, I believe, at the end of January. There's talk of a Kickstarter. These are miniatures that are not yet out for release. I got these sent to me very graciously by the owners of the company. These are new Thracian swordsmen, warriors with the Rhomphaia. And there's 3 sculpts of these done by Stavros Zulaitis. And then there are also rock throwers and some other cool stuff. We're going to do videos on those. And then also Persian Immortals. And again, these are brand new. They have not been released. These are the resins, and they are just so beautifully sculpted. Stavros did a great job on these as normal. So I'll be doing some painting videos on that, and a look at the miniatures in general. Here's one of the archers from that, and I'll show you one more. I'll show you the guy with his Rhomphaia behind him, like he's ready to chop up some people here with that thing. It's just so amazing. And you know, there's a little bit of cleanup work that has to get done here on the head, but otherwise it's a really nice cast. Footsore resins are the best. Now these are coming out in resin and metal, and as you can see, the resin is very, very bendy, but it's not bendy enough where it loses its shape. So, you know, they're a lot more durable than what you might think resins are. So either way, these are amazing sculpts, and I can't wait to do some videos on them in the future. This is your first look, by the way, at these, so, you know, make sure you pass the video around if anyone you know is interested in 28mm Ancients. So also, I'm getting into fantasy a little bit, and when I say that, I mean I've always been into fantasy, Lord of the Rings, and, you know, all that jazz. It's always been interested in me, and I've always had an interest in D&D. I've played D&D with my wife, and even before that. So, you know, I'm getting into painting more fantasy themed miniatures, and I'm doing some different things that I haven't seen on YouTube. So, for example, you know, my wife especially likes elves, and we were talking about 2 moon elf characters for D&D. There wasn't any videos on painting moon elf flesh that I could find, so I did a little bit of a test recipe on this miniature, and I like the colors a lot. You can see there's a bit of a purplish hue there, even in the hair. I know it looks very much like a dark elf at the moment, but I guarantee you it's not gray. It's more of a purpley flesh tone, which is what I was going for with the moon elf theme, but not too purple where it gets into the dark elf range. So this is just an example of something I'm doing. If you like it, let me know in the comments. It's just a test miniature, and there's some more things I want to do on that. So that said, you know, there's a lot of exciting things. I want to review new paints that I've never used before, such as Color Shift. Green Stuff World is sending along some Color Shift paints. I want to you know, test those out, see how they're like. I have a whole bunch of Cyberpunk cars and vehicles for my board that I'm building, and I want to use a Color Shift paint on that to see if that works well with those vehicles. So we'll give that a shot. I don't have an airbrush, so I'm going to be applying them by hand. I don't make any money on this channel. I haven't really thought about doing something like that, so I can't afford an airbrush. I'm a poor student, so unfortunately it's just the way it is. So yeah, we're gonna try, you know, painting on stuff by hand with the painter. I also want to try fluorescent paints. You know, there's some really high quality fluorescents out there. Scale 75 makes some fluorescents I want to try, and I think that'll go really nicely with the Cyberpunk as well. And you know, just some other things on the channel that I want to keep secret for now. So we'll get into those. Maybe some terrain. I don't really know, you know, how much I want to give away yet. It's still early in the year. It just started, you know, 20 minutes ago for me. So you know, we'll get into that further on. Anyway, everyone, it's been over 10 minutes, and again, Happy New Year. Here's to a successful 2020 for everybody, and looking forward to releasing some content. In the comments below, feel free to leave a note. Let me know what you want to see more of from this channel going forward. Obviously, within reason, I'll try to accommodate as much as I can. I can't always do everything, but I will do as much as I can. So leave a comment below, and here's to next time. Take care, everyone.